Warning, this is a rant. If you do not like rants, I'm sorry. This is not for you. Because when it comes to Code Lyoko Season 3, there is no logic. There is no togetherness. There is no good storytelling. There is no creative order. There's 13 random ideas thrown into a blender. A season so rushed, so ill-informed, that it takes one of the greatest seasons of television ever, with the highest link of potential ever, and this was back in the early 2000s, and throws it away. It's like everything that AEW is as a wrestling company. All the potential in the world to be great, but none of the leadership and brains to make the leadership work long term. If not for this season, Code Lyoko would be a 7-season wonder, an 8, a 9. We'd be talking about this show historically, like we talk about FIM or Fairly Odd Parents when it was good, or name your favorite animated show, Adventure Time. We'd be talking about Code Lyoko like that. But thanks to Season 3, thanks to the 13 Ghost, we don't. We only get one more season after this, and 2 very poor failed continuums. All that hit like a water balloon. The damage done due to the 13 Ghost is the sad failings of potential. That's the story of Season 3 of Code Lyoko. When you're handed the world and you immediately drop the ball. You end up like Sisyphus, trying to climb the boulder uphill again, only for it to be brought back down, to begin anew. When it comes to me rewatching Code Lyoko seasons, I usually go 1, 2, and straight to 4. I usually skip 3. This whole section of the Aelita Diaries journey is the exact reason why I skip it. Why? Because there isn't a single memorable thing in here. When your most memorable thing in your entire season is essentially your last moment, and even that is poorly constructed. But for those that did not view that video, let me say it again. It's an easy fix. You want to know how easy it is? 4 steps. 1. Put William's turn at the end of the season at the beginning. Flip it. Give him the power of Code Xana as a yin to Aelita's yang. We already know the rivalry between them is going to get personal as hell. So, why did you wait till the end of the season to start it, when the rivalry between them had already begun? 2. You get rid of the Skimpozoa by doing step number 1. It's pretty easy. The Skimpozoa is a lazy conceit and turning Aelita again into an unwilling victim kills the character growth that was made in Season 2 almost. The Ryoka writers get lucky in not killing her character growth. And when I say lucky, I mean the bullet grazes her beautiful pink locks and leaves a scar there. Could have taken her eye out with one or two miscues. But thankfully, they don't go as far to screw that up with this season 3 plot. Aelita is still primarily untouched, and now due to the use of the energy field, the most overpowered move in Leokian history, she's actually a better character now. That's the one thing that Season 3 does right. The one thing. The only one good thing. Aelita is in a better place coming out of these 13 than she did going into these 13. She's the only character that gets the benefit of this crappy season. But you wouldn't know that because the episodes are utterly random, have no reason for being. I mean, literally. 8 of the 13, 8 of them are completely skippable. You don't have to watch them. They mean absolutely nothing. And out of the remaining 4, the final 3 are the 3 that you watch. Triple Trouble, which, by the way, if you're going to watch Triple Trouble, watch it while drunk. It will help. Double Trouble and Final Round are 3 of the 4 episodes you should watch this season. The other one being Sabotage. Outside of that, you could pretty much skip the rest of it. Outside of maybe Leoka -1, possibly, being the only exception, that's about it. Other than that, the entire season is skippable, which means it's a waste of time. You could read the season 3 plot on a Wikipedia page and be better and more well-informed than actually watching the episodes themselves. That's how poorly this season is executed. Yes, the computer graphics are more impressive, but it's a complete waste. And seeing that we're going to get new virtual forms starting next week, this is a piss poor way of getting rid of them, which leads to Change 3, as William continues to delete sectors and kick the Leoka Warriors' ass. Each time that William wins, a bit of the old virtual form data gets deleted. The forms get strategically weaker as Season 3 continues. Ultimately, to the ultimate disintegration of the forms alongside Leoka itself, to utterly hammer home the total defeat. And if you ever wanted to see a villain win an entire season without any get-backs, you finally found one. Code Lyoko Season 3 only has 3 victories, if you can even call it that, from the hero faction. The other 9 episodes, they're getting puppy-kicked around. Sure, this makes sense given the end of Season 2, which is yet again only the second right thing this season does. But it does it at the expense of making the main characters too weak, too idiotic, too stupid, and ultimately at the end of the season, way too desperate. When the smartest character in the entire show is Yumi Ishiyama, and you could pretty much delete Odd from this season because he practically does nothing, or sulks all day, and well, Poor Jeremy. Jeremy gets redeemed from his season 2 mistakes for the most part, but ultimately, they mean absolutely nothing. Let's say a couple of things that'll end up setting the bar for later. Yumi's the only character that does anything good here. And I mean anything. And of course, Aelita being untouchable because she's the main character of the show, the true main character. Of course, she doesn't have to do much but be awesome, which she does, even at the expense of this season trying to screw it all up along the way. Nothing is really improved this season, and the fact that we do get the technical pilot of this season here, unfortunately, puts this season in a weird spot. The pilot is good. The season that comes after is utterly trash. And William Dunbar, from spy snooping in too much to being the only person they could trust, when that's not true. Where was Sissy Delmas this season? In fact, Sissy is only shown twice. It's like the writers totally forgot. They have another bully character in the show that they could have easily reformed. But they totally forget that and decide to go with the love triangle angle that I have said repeatedly, multiple times on this journey, is a walking disaster. Every bit of it. And trust me, it does not get any better in season 4. In fact, it gets worse now that William is truly now on the opposite side. But we'll get to that. Trust me. And it doesn't even take long, because you'll see it next week. That's what makes it worse. It starts right off at episode 66. But you'll have to tune in next week to see that. My lord, there is so much wrong with this season. And sure, as just a watcher of things, maybe it's tolerable. Maybe if I was a casual, non-writer edgehead, maybe this is a tolerable bridge between. But no, as a writer of things in my head, literally since high school, and seeing that I'm a reviewer by trade, everything shows itself. The cracks are almost immediate. When the best thing that you did the entire season is have Xana commit an almost on purpose assisted suicide. Everything is hurt. Everything is pain. There's a reason this season is forgotten about by everyone and will be forgotten by me again. To say this season is a 1 out of 6 is giving it a mercy killing. Because, honestly, there's a reason I never went back. Now I know. And now you do too. If you decide to brave yourself through the 13 episodes that is this third season, even if you can call it that, please do it with some help. I don't care how you get help. Friends, Mystery Science Theater 3000 commentary, your favorite adult beverage if you are of age, or just anything to numb the pain, because any amount of thought that you will put into this season will make your brain hurt. It's an entire season if written by our truth. It's illogical, it's dumb, it's sad, and the worst part, unlike our truth, it isn't funny. Thank God I am out of here. Thank God we can finally get back to good Code Lyoko again. Because reviewing this season almost rotted my brain. Code Lyoko Season 3, get back in the chest of demons and leave Flim Flam with you. We're off to bigger and better things. And better TV. Next week. Thank God this season is over. And the nightmare is over. And, oh yeah, I still haven't figured out what I'm going to name Season 4. But keep an eye on my Twitter, @NirvanaSparkle. And yes, I still call it Twitter because I'm a sane person. There you'll find out what the name for Chapter 4 of the Aelita Diaries is. And no, I'm not gonna go with the obvious Cody Rhodes reference. I'm not gonna do it. So get that out of your head. I'll see you next week when Season 4, whatever I name it, begins. Thank God I'm out of here. Find peace in your own Nirvana, and thank God for good television. Because boy do I need it.